Hey Divi Nation, thank you for joining us for another episode of Divi Creator Showcase, where we interview a Divi creator from the marketplace, learning all about their story, products, and ongoing journey as part of the Divi community. Today, I am joined by Divi creator Daniel of Superfly. Best known for Divi Background Plus, Superfly currently has over 1,200 sales and a 4-star rating in the marketplace. Let's learn a little bit more about Daniel and his creations. Hey Daniel, thank you for joining us. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. So before we dive into Divi Talk, real quick, just tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Yeah, so my name's Daniel Dye, as you said. I'm from Greenville, South Carolina. Originally bounced around a little bit. I grew up in Florida and then a little time in Kansas City, but landed in Greenville. Met my wife here and decided to stick around. So I've been here about almost 20 years now, and Be Superfly is actually headquartered in Greenville. The founder, Nathan Duval, and I kind of run that together.
Awesome. It's pretty cool that you're in South Carolina because I'm in Carolina. Yeah, so it's not often that I have someone to interview that's pretty close to me. So that's awesome. So let's dig into your story now, because that's what we're here to talk about. First off, how did you even stumble upon Divi? What was the story there?
Yeah, great question. So and I came in a little later. That Be Superfly was already established when I left another marketing role to come join the team here. And now I'm partners with Nathan in this. And then this started more as a side hustle, really. And then Superfly kind of is a side hustle to our parent brand, gruffygoat.com. But the need for a visual builder, I think, was the main thing. We had clients that, just helping small business clients that needed a quick, easy, affordable website. So like most people, I think we started building websites for a few $100, $1,000. And then realized, hey, this Divi tool is pretty awesome from gives us a tool that the end client can then use. WordPress. A lot of people in the past had WordPress and it was a hard coded site and they weren't able to make edits. So they're sending a request of, hey, I need to add this headshot for this team member and I can't do it. And then they're waiting for a week to hear back from a developer that may or may not still be, available readily. Mm-hmm. So Divi allowed us to build sites that we could then give to a client and let the client use themselves.
Yeah, which, for a lot of people is like, whoa, this is mind boggling, So yeah. I can understand why the need was there and why you went with Divi. But going off of that, at what point were you like, okay, we need to make Divi products? And what was that first product for you?
Yeah. So the very first one, I want to say, I'm trying to remember the exact year, but it's been several years ago. But the very first product was Munder Difflin, a little play on the Office. And we actually just redid that one last year with a little bit more animated type animated features. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the very first one was literally, it was just a layout we had built and we'd used it a few times and we said, hey, we can recreate these, we can recreate this layout and sell it. Other people might like this, or a few people might have reached out and been like, hey, how'd you do that? And mm-hmm. So that's when we kind of started Superfly. There were a few other, I think Gino at Monterey Premier was kind of one of the first ones I remember. And we saw he was doing that and a few other people. And yeah, we just kind of took off. We started with one product. It did pretty well. And we just started adding.
Awesome. So how long, I know you said that it's been a couple of years, but do you have like a rough idea of how long it's been that you've actually been creating products with Divi?
Yeah, man, I want to say the first one was like 2015 or 2016. So probably 6 years or so.
Okay, cool. Wow. So it's been a while.
Our Nathan, like I said, is the founder. He would know the exact date. So mm-hmm. Sorry.
It's all good. So going off of that, understanding what Divi users want and need, I imagine plays a big role now in your offerings. Back then, maybe you just had a layout and decided, okay, people would enjoy this, but now you may think, okay, what do the people want? So what is your process like now for coming up with new product ideas?
Yeah. So I think we started primarily with designs and we would, Divi built this great, I know it's a theme. It's basically this great framework that allows people to use the sites that we build for them. And it also gives our developers or designers, it lets the designer build more than just a hardcore dev being needed to build every site. So it just makes a great website more accessible from our standpoint. But being able to start with more of the themes and the designs, a little more unique designs. Now Elegant Themes is kind of coming out with a lot more designs and layouts all the time. So from our perspective, we'll probably still do a few new layouts. And then we have actually one in the works right now, but the plugins was kind of where we went the last few years of seeing little lines of, our developers would say, hey, it'd be really cool if it could do this. And so, starting with like image intents for the, making the image, little different effects for images, and then menu header, giving a little more styling ability to menus.
Sure. Yeah. So going off of that, you talked about having, extensions now in addition to the child themes. That's obviously a big thing for you. You guys have Divi Background Plus, almost 500 sales on the marketplace. Why do you think that is your most popular product? And for those who are not familiar with it, can you explain what it is?
Yeah. So basically what this does, it just allows color and gradient overlays to basically videos, or, to parallax background, something like that. So it's just a cool little, it's kind of a quick, easy little, piece of code that we started using ourselves. And that's kind of how a lot of these plugins come into play, where we have somebody's like, hey, can I add this overlay here? And we're like, oh, let's just build a little tool and package that up and put it for sale. So yeah, it's $9, really affordable, great feature set for the price. And it's really easy to use.
Yeah. So do you think that plays a big role in it costing $9? It's like, oh, I might as well have that,
Yeah, I'm sure that helps. I think we did a couple promotion type things with Elegant Themes where we kind of bundled several products together for some. I forget what promotion that was, but that I think kind of helped package up, and we sold quite a few through that. But we get a few, I think, of maybe one or two a day now, where it's people find it or somebody reads a review, and it's a great little utility plugin, and we've got several of those. So that was while we started with the themes, the utility plugins really were more. We tried to put some band-aids on little areas where we thought, hey, this would be cool, or we just kind of built a thing a couple times into a client site, and we said, well, that's, we can easily package that up, and other Divi users could use that, and we could make a few bucks in the process.
Yeah. I do remember this previous Black Friday sale. We had the utility bundle, and Divi Background Plus was a part of that. And yeah, it's so great. I've messed around with it a little bit, and it's just something, it's like, oh, this is something I'm missing, and it really adds a lot. And at the price point, you can't go wrong. So I highly recommend you guys check that out. But you also have Divi Under Construction, which, it's pretty straightforward in the name. It has nearly 250 sales. But for people who don't know what it is, what is it? Why is it so special? Why do you think people are enjoying it?
Yeah. So this one is actually a funny one as well. We would have sites where somebody's, kind of the traditional coming soon page would be, we just pop up a landing page and, have a coming soon page. And then we're like, well, why don't we just have, an under construction kind of, it hides the site and then little countdown feature or whatever. And we're like, this is just super simple, easy to use. And so again, it was just a tool that we needed internally. And we said, let's just package this up and sell it. And it's been a hit.
Yeah, I love that it's like, oh, I need this, and I'm sure everyone else needs it. And it's just like the easiest way to make a product, and it seems to be working for you guys. Now, going off of that, you have quite a few extensions now. Which one is your personal favorite, and which one do you think, for the average Divi user that's watching this right now, which one do you think is the most useful?
Oh man. Well, I think it really just depends. So some of these are, I think the normal Divi user kind of the coding ability or the technical ability kind of varies. So sometimes, Divi right out of the box has more than enough to design, build, and launch a beautiful site. You really don't need these. It's more when you've been doing it a little while, at least from my perspective, you've been doing it a little while and you're like, oh, it'd be really cool if this image could do this, or, hey, I had a client point to a Squarespace or a Shopify menu that they love. And so then, the menu plugin or something like that. So the two top sellers, so we've been selling well before the Elegant Themes Marketplace was in effect. So the top two sellers for us from plugin or utility tools was menu header and image intents. Again, menu customizer and then image intents, just little, multiple options to kind of make your images do different things. I know the normal person that watches this is probably even more technical than me. So that's those are probably my two. Like, I feel like those are the biggest, I guess, bang for your buck, if you will, from a few bucks for a tool that kind of extends the functionality natively in Divi. And menu header, when we first built it, it wasn't Visual Builder compatible. We just fixed all that, so now that's ready to go. And then image intents is just, if you have a specific there's a bunch of those now where you can kind of make your images do different things. There's a lot of good products out there, but it's another great utility for, image enhancement and a little extra motion and things.
Yeah. So now switching to your child themes, because you do have a few of those as well. Which one would you say is your personal favorite?
Yeah, my personal, our top seller all time is Josephine. That was actually created we have an advisor named John Wooten from Artillery Media in Lincoln. And he designed that. That's been our, most popular one. It's really versatile, a lot of different things you can do with that. But I guess it's been a couple years ago now, we established what are called our super themes. So if you look in the store there, I'm pulling it up here because I feel like I'm going to say something wrong. So Phoenix, Hawthorne, Wireframe Kit, and Milo. The super theme idea is really just we've got the same sections in each of those. Just we're kind of starting with different styles, but the sections are the same in all those. So they're interchangeable. You can start with one of those bigger themes that has 70, 80 sections, and then lay those out however you want. So you kind of have. We feel like it's easier when you're trying to show a client, hey, this is what it can look like. When you've got defined sections and it's like building blocks to put together a completed site. So I love those. I think that's something for us as a team when if we're trying to go quick with more of a theme-based build rather than a full custom design, we can get people to say, oh, I like the way that section looks. So we can pull that section out. It speeds up our dev process and helps us get a live site up for the client faster.
Yeah, I have to say, I've actually messed around with Milo, and that one is awesome. And I love how you literally just go to the page and you're like, okay, I'm going to take, the contact form 6 or whatever. And you can just bring it to where you're already working. And it's just, like you said, building blocks. It just makes the process so simple. So that personally is my favorite. Now for people out there that want to get into creating their own Divi products, do you have any advice for them, things they need to know that you think would have been nice to know from the beginning?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think as far as the products, the thing for us that always drove what we created was there was something we needed for our business. So I know there are some groups that maybe their main thing is building products and that's what they do. For the person that's building websites for clients, finding that gap, or if you say, hey, I've had 1, 2, 3 more, I've started having a couple people ask, can it do this? And if it's something that Divi doesn't natively do, or there's not already a product that does it, or if there's even like an enhancement to an existing product, find a thing that would help your business, because most likely if it's something that you need or you've got clients asking for, other people do too. And that's really been the background of when we've created a new tool or a new theme. It was more to fill a gap or to fulfill a need in our custom web business where somebody needed something. And so we just kind of went out and found a way to build it.
Awesome. Now back to Superfly. What is your vision for the future of Superfly? And do you have any like potential teasers for something that you guys are working on right now?
So nothing specifically I can share. We do have a couple of things in the works. I was going to say that one exciting new one, we didn't even talk about this yet, but the Divi Super Tabs is probably our newest plugin. And that's one we've been, big push on e-commerce recently with COVID and, more and more people looking for ways to show different options or different packages. And so that Super Tabs tool has been great. Going forward, like I said, we do have a couple things in the works right now. And I don't have a specific teaser per se, but we're excited to, Divi has always, and Elegant Themes, Nick and everyone has always played really nice with the secondary markets, like the plugins. And so even the fact that they spent so much time and energy creating this marketplace, pretty awesome. There's always the risk when you build a utility plugin that it's something that Divi could just build into native Divi pretty easily and pretty quickly. You guys have a great dev team. And so I feel like there's always been a really nice balance there to let to leave room for the secondary market, the marketplace products, and to play nice with Divi. So again, sorry, not trying to dodge the question, but nothing specific I can announce today. But we do have a couple things in the works, both from a utility standpoint and some new design stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we're looking for, is to hear that new things in the works, and people definitely need to stay tuned and follow you guys on your social media, your website, to see what comes next. So now, final question. I know there's a lot that we could talk about, but I want to know, is there anything you want to say directly to the Divi community, because now really is the best time. Hopefully everyone watching is, a diehard Divi fan and hopefully a current or future customer of yours. So anything you want to tell them?
Yeah. So I think that a cool thing for us is, and like probably most Divi creators, everyone has other businesses where they're building, they're building sites for clients or doing whatever. So the theme building or the plugin building usually is in conjunction with something else. And I don't want to necessarily say side hustle because we do spend quite a bit of energy and time on this, but there are always new players coming into the market. I know Elementor is out there, and you've got the Webflows and Squarespace and Wix and all these other tools. The fact that, and there will always be things that some new shiny thing that comes out and the community is going to be like, hey, we want this. And so like, we're the same way. But to a Divi user, I've always been pleased with, Divi's obviously still reinvesting in Divi, making Divi stronger. It continues to attract new users. We see that just in sales information. There's brand new people coming. The traffic on our site, both through the marketplace, but through our besuperfly.com is steady and continuing to increase. So I'm really excited about where Divi can go. I think on the site now, you guys say there's about 760,000 users or so. So I'm sure that'll hit 1 million here soon. And as long as Divi keeps investing back into the community, and I think there's a really strong ecosystem here. I like the future of it, and we're excited to keep using Divi for that strong visual building tool that not only does it give us the ability to have a developer go in and have some good tools and then still, use WordPress, which, largest CMS, but also it gives us something we can turn over to a client that they can easily navigate and use, unlike other hard-coded systems or sites.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've said this before and I like to tease it, but there are big things coming. Obviously I only know a fraction of it, but I'm excited, and I could just see that, everyone's going to benefit so greatly from the future. Hopefully this year, hopefully next year, who knows? We'll see. But I really appreciate you hopping on, Daniel. And I thank everyone for checking out another installment of the Divi Creator Showcase series. Don't forget, you can check out Superfly's creator profile, which will be linked in the video description, and all the other information you need will be there as well. So with that said, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.